Quick little update. Truck needs just an oil filter and for me to plug in the spark plug wires and add oil, and then we'll be doing first start. Z just needs lifter trays and lifters to go in. I have not done them yet. That should also be happening tomorrow. So Z should be running tomorrow and we should be good to go on the Z. I would like to tackle the interior very first. This is something I have put off for a long time, mainly because the GTO interior is pretty comfortable, but if I want to do everything, if I want to accomplish all of my goals for this year, the goal would be to lighten this car up. So with that being said, lightening the car up has a lot to do with the interior in this car. So the seats are very heavy. I don't know that I'm not gonna gut the car. Like, I don't want it to be full-on race car unless, you know, that's exactly what I use it for. So don't necessarily want to gut the car, but I do want to take some weight out of it. We want to get the car, if possible for me, and very streetable, but I want to get the car around 3,200 pounds. 3,200 pounds with, say, 800 horsepower should feel like a freak of a car. So that is the first goal. Seats and steering wheel would be very first. Most likely steering wheel very first, and then seats, mainly because I would like to sit in some seats and make sure I actually like them. I don't want to just pick some and be like, damn, these suck, you know what I mean? So we're gonna get rid of all the unnecessaries, stuff that I don't necessarily use. So I've already kind of lost some weight on the car. Rear seats are gone, toe brace is gone, fuel tank brace is gone. You know, I don't have a full exhaust under the car either. So next step would be interior wise. I know there's a ton of wiring in here. I'm not sure that I'm gonna actually take all of that out. We're still gonna keep it as street car as possible. I would like to address the back seat here to where, you know, I don't have, you know, it looks nice still. So nice and light, but very streetable. You know, I'm gonna run some ideas by a few people, whether I should just do Ford rods pistons or if I should just do a full build and sell the LS2 in here. But you know, part of me wants to keep it because I really like the motor, and it would still be somewhat original, you know. But we'll figure that portion out later. Third phase would be to address the drive lines. Most likely with my budget, we will be trying to get away with a couple of things. So literally all I really need is drive shaft and axle stubs. And we'll probably leave this diff in here completely stock, or build the diff I have at home. Lastly, it would be suspension. Make any kind of tweaks to the suspension that I deem necessary. It'd be like suspension and tires, wheels, that kind of stuff. And I put them all under the same category. But yeah, so far, you know, I really love my coilover setup. I think the only difference I would make is I would do a full-on double adjustable dampener in the rear, so I could really control rebound and compression, and really control how the back end sits and drives. I also would like to add sway bars to the car, the Hotchkiss sway bars, and just make it a really good all-around car. Like, it may not be the best car for one particular thing, but it'll be pretty decent for everything. Go for the move. Look at this crap. Boom. All right, well, it's cold. It's cold out here. None of this happened in a day. All right, guys, welcome back. Today, what I have to do is I have to get the Z fixed. The reason I have to get the Z fixed is it's supposed to snow over the weekend, and I do not want the GTO outside as it is. I have been daily driving it, but I am no longer going to be daily driving it for the winter because we have lots of plans. So, as you guys know, we're planning on rebuilding pretty much just about everything on the GTO, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we have to have a running race car. So this one, new lifters, new trays, and yeah. So got to pull heads on this guy and get this thing running so we can pull the GTO in and get started on the GTO. So crunch time. Today is pretty much my last day. I have a full day of work tomorrow, so I have to get this done for today. S10 is still in the same status as what you guys last seen. No, actually, it's all wired up and ready to go. It looks nasty because some of the old harness is not fully connected yet. But as for the Holly, everything's wired up and ready to go. Jesus is supposed to be dropping off a vacuum line so I could plug it up and actually start the car today. But we'll see what's up for that. Yeah. All right, we got head pulled in record time. That took me about 20 minutes, which I'm pretty psyched on. Yeah, see, everything looks pretty nice in here. We're gonna put new lifters and new trays in. Had to order AC Delco straight from GM. And then the lifters are just cheapies, so hopefully they'll work. You don't know, I don't know, because the LS7 lifters were on back order for a while, so just kind of had to go with the cheap boys. Not really a how-to, just trying to crank this out so we get the GTO in here before the snow. So back to the time lapse. All right, and we're pretty much back together. That took a minute. Actually, it only took about an hour or so to do both heads, lifters. Yeah, so retorqued everything. No, I didn't get new head bolts because those head bolts were only like 2 weeks old. So I'm not going to spend $40 on a set of new factory head bolts. Yes, this is pretty much factory, other than an ASA cam and some LS6 springs. With that being said, now we just got to add coil packs, plug in the spark plug wires, and hook up my battery, and we're golden. The only issue I did notice was on the back of the intake. This guy back in here, where the map sensor plugs in, was loose, so I believe that's where the vacuum leak was coming from. So what I did was I RTV'd it because there's no real way to tighten that thing up. So I RTV'd it, and hopefully that's it. So now I'm gonna let that thing dry. We're gonna continue hooking up everything else. We're gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna hopefully pull out the Z and bring the GTO in. All right, guys, I just got to add some water to this thing, but mainly I'm just gonna pull it out, and then we'll bring the GTO in. But yeah, the weather has changed here in Colorado, so yeah, I guess it's time. It's time to work on the GTO. Funny story, so I just drove this thing around the block, and we still got some tune issues on there, but you know, all the valve train is taken care of and bottom end is taken care of. But I did, however, somehow, since I forgot to mount my dipstick here, it blew out, so I sprayed oil everywhere and no good. So I just got that thing back put in the hole, but obviously it's loose, so I need to actually mount this properly. But so far so good. The car runs. Just not great just yet. Once we get the tune all figured out, then she'll be a ripper. We got good oil pressure, new lifters, new lifter trays, new oil pump, new cam, not new cam, but a good cam, new valve seals on the heads, you name it. That it's been done for the most part. Front and rear main seal. Now it's just the tune is really, really strange on this thing. So like the weather instantly changed while I was out, and yeah, we got to get the GTO in here. I'm gonna get this oil fixed real quick, and then the GTO will be parked inside. But yeah, we don't want any moisture inside the turbo, so we're gonna get it inside here. But yeah, weather's definitely changing in Colorado. So tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow will be the first start for this car. Tomorrow, all I need is a vacuum line, pretty much from the brake booster here. Even though I have one here, this particular hole is actually too small for the fitting of the back of the LS1 intake. So just need a brake booster, or this line, which my boy Jesus has. Once I get that, then we'll give her a first start. All right, guys, so we kind of got her back. Only thing I can really think of for the tune, it started idling like it once did. It kind of fixed itself, and so I have an intermittent misfire somewhere. So I'm gonna go through and check plugs and wires and all that good stuff. I happen to have brand new plugs and wires for the GTO here, but yeah. So yeah, I honestly think it's an exhaust leak, and the only place where it could be an exhaust leak is the clamps right behind the header. So I'm gonna pick this thing up and actually check, and we should be good after that. That's how cold it is right now. All right, we got to cover up this hole. I'm not gonna be able to get the GTO in tonight, but I got to cover up the hole just in case. We don't want anything going into the turbo, so no big deal. It could stay outside for the night, but we will be getting to work on it ASAP.
It's the time for games and it's the time to kill. Make up your mind, baby, cause the time is here.